What's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is March 10th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Donald J. Trump dissolution of presidency event surrounding his multi-stop excursion across the United States, namely to Ohio and Kentucky, on the date of March 11th of 2026, specifically to spawn the presidency of one J.D. Vance. So I just want to state for the record that it's 100% certain that J.D. Vance will be sworn in as U.S. President of the United States on March 11th in the aftermath of some sort of tragedy striking Donald J. Trump on this particular date. Before I get into the possible scenarios and his schedule, I just want to highlight the numerology. As always, with every single terror attack, political assassination, act of war, it always has the numeric signature of the CIA who orchestrated it. As every serial killer does, they leave their stamp, and in this particular case, it's no accident. Firstly, the date of March 11th marks exactly 415 days since Donald J. Trump became President of the United States back on January 20th of 2025. Of course, the number 4 was previously a cross, which is found on the flag of Switzerland. And then, of course, the 15 equates to the number 0, so you have a cross inside a circle. And this is actually it's day O. It's hard to explain, but it's essentially the symbol of Switzerland. Also, the date of March 11th, 2026 marks exactly 6 months and 1 day since the CIA assassinated Trump protege Charlie Kirk via an assassination at Utah Valley University back on September 10th of 2025. Of course, the number 61 or 16 is found in the numerology is found in the logo of the CIA, 16-pointed star. It's also the 6 and 1 is the opposite of the 9 and 1 on which he was assassinated. So he was assassinated on 9/10 or 9/1, and then you have the 9/91 and 61. And so this is the 6 and 9 are interchangeable. That's why they mirror each other, and so they belong together numerologically. And in this particular case, as we see in the yin and yang symbol, it's no different. Also, the numerology regarding U.S. President Donald J. Trump on this particular date is 29,125 days old. Of course, the number 91 or 19 equates to the letter S, which is an acronym for Switzerland. And then, of course, the number 22 equates to the letter V. So if you have the letter S and the letter V, it's Shiva. And that is why there is a statue of Shiva outside of CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland. Okay, so as somebody that pays attention to the president's daily schedule in order to publish reports, in order to attempt to keep him alive, it's very ambiguous for the date of March 11th. But according to news reports that I've heard, he's going to make multiple stops in both Ohio, and that is because this day is going to bring forth the presidency of J.D. Vance, who is from Ohio, and he's going to Kentucky, which is the home of Thomas Massey, who is the most anti-Israel person, and this is Israel. The Mossad is going to assassinate him, most likely in Kentucky. So according to the latest reports, Donald J. Trump is going to be visiting Thermo Fisher Scientific, and I should have looked that up, but it's a firm in, I believe, Kentucky. And I just want to make sure for the record. Yeah, so one second.
I actually should have brought my notes over here because I did use the U.S. Postal Office this morning for my...
Yeah, it's in Florence, Kentucky, I believe. And also the or I'm not sure. They have locations in both Ohio and in Kentucky, so I'm not sure. And it's very interesting that the president's official schedule is not mentioning exactly where it's at. And then he's going to do a local TV interview and a local podcast interview. Okay. So, as I do with all cross-country trips, short and long, that the president takes, I publish numerous reports. And so I'm just going to highlight them, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen. So his plane could suffer some sort of directed energy weapon-related attack. They could stage a mid-air collision while aboard Air Force One. They could do a Chinese or Russian surface-to-air missile strike targeting the president, an accidental bird strike, an Iranian drone bombing attack, and a hydraulic power or power transfer unit failure. So basically a hydraulic lift failure on the plane. Some sort of, I covered the surface-to-air missile. Some sort of a crash landing. Some sort of aerial assassination event under the guise of force majeure, airport ground crew, etc., etc. Suicide drone bombing attack, I covered that. So it could be because Donald J. Trump is going to be taking Marine One from the White House to Joint Base Andrews in Frederick County, Maryland. And then from Frederick County, Maryland, he's going to make a trip on Air Force One to both Kentucky and Ohio. And then he's going to return to Joint Base Andrews Air Force, Joint Base Andrews in Frederick County, Maryland, and then he will return to the White House via Marine One. So it is during this time that he will likely suffer some sort of an assassination event that is masqueraded as an accident or a force majeure, an act of God. Given that he is going to be visiting Thermo Fisher Dynamic, obviously fish indicates water, and then we just had a secondary Hudson plane landing in New York. You remember the famous one back in, I think it was 2002, where the pilot successfully navigated the landing of a 737, I believe, in the Hudson River in wintertime, just after the 9/11 attacks. I believe that they're going to stage some sort of a drowning-based event targeting the plane. So I believe that Air Force One will suffer some sort of a malfunction or engine failure or bird strike or something to that effect, and then they're going to slam this thing into the water, killing everybody on board. That's my guess. So obviously I have to write a report about that, but in this video I just wanted to state for the record it's 100% certain that the CIA is going to assassinate Donald J. Trump in some form or fashion on the date of March 11th. That's what the numbers say, and I believe it to be true. Now, obviously, that's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm writing all these reports, is to prevent this. But they are at a point where they are just have to get rid of this guy because he's about ready to end the war in Iran. And the last thing they want is to stop this war from ending. And even though Trump started it, I believe that he's going to end it because he's seeing how the Israelis are playing him. This might take. So I believe that they're going to off him before he gets a chance to stop the war. That's my theory, and I believe that they'll do it while he's in the plane. There's also the realistic possibility, given the multi-stop events that are on his schedule for the date of March 11th, that he could suffer some sort of an assassination. This could be an angry farmer because of the ongoing beef crisis. This could be a trans shooter. This could be a military shooter. This could be an Iranian assassin. It could be an Afghan national. It could be an MS-13. It could be anybody. But the kill shot is going to be taken by the Israeli Mossad, and that they're going to frame a patsy. It also could be some sort of a fire, an accident, a slip and fall, the walkway collapsing. They could do anything. So obviously, if Trump is killed in any form or fashion on the date of March 11th of 2026, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local and state and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Lastly, the number 11 equates to the letter K in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for kill, and that is why 9/11 and multiple attacks throughout history, especially American history, happen on the number 11. So obviously, hopefully this video will suffice in thwarting any potential attacks targeting the president. But if he in fact perishes on the date of March 11th, obviously know that it was CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland, next to the Shiva statue, that was orchestrated this and had their Israeli Mossad members within the United States orchestrate this in real time. So obviously praying for a peaceful Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. Peace.